Coming up, it's a series the Lions have dominated since 1952, beating the Browns 19 times in 24 matchups, including the last 4 games. It's Cleveland and Detroit in Week 11, and it's headed your way on EA Sports.
We come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. And they're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at our visitors coming into play here. They're squaring off against a very tough unit to throw against.
And this is not one of the better passing offenses in the league to begin with, Brandon. And to illustrate that point, they're down near the bottom of the power ranking, so the focus is going to need to be on possession-type throws. Whether they're trying to use their running backs or tight ends a little bit more, the big thing is to make sure the quarterback gets it out of his hands quickly to his receivers, and they hope to gain an advantage that way.
Season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Donovan Peoples-Jones now from the end zone, and ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Browns set to go on offense for the first time, led by Baker Mayfield in his 4th season now from Oklahoma.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Still going. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. I think you'd have to say Nick Chubb, pound for pound, one of the most powerful runners in the NFL. He proved it there.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. Some tough running, but it only gets him to the 45. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Looking for the out route. It's completed to Landry. Fights through it. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Browns have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Parkey with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. 5 plays there on that drive. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away.
Taken at the goal line.
And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
On 1st down, Goff. Got his man, that's Tyrell Williams. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. A first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams.
And this will wind up a Lions 1st down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Here's Goff.
And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. A give to Williams, running right. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, this defense for the Browns, they were strong last week, CD, and that win over New England.
There's a little bit of lightning evening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. It's the Pro Bowler Jamie Collins that makes the stop.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. A give. This is Chubb. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. After 7-0 on EA Sports. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Chubb. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. And he completes it to Hunt. Touchdown! Kareem Hunt, his 11th touchdown on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Now Parkey for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0 the score as they regroup with 1st and 10. To throw is Goff. And his pass incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Goff. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of the quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you, all right? So if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Chubb. Shoves him aside. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 93 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. They'll run. Here's Janovich, the fullback. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Andy Janovich, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Now Parkey for the extra point. And And it is now 21-0. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Lions offense set to take over. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
On 2nd and 10, Goff. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Brandon, how about that reaction there from the defensive end? Able to recognize the screen pass trying to happen. Broke off his pass rush, and then got back to tackle the running back. That's a very athletic and intelligent play. Reminds me of you working out and seeing that the treadmill's open and getting there before anyone else.
See, I know you're just patronizing me right now. Everybody knows at home that is nothing but a shot at me, and I'll take it, absorb it, and we'll move on.
And it looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Goff. And they finally get to him as he's taken down. Myles Garrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Here's Jack Fox now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken right at the 35. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Now Nick Chubb and the Browns get set for their next possession. He's in his own 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now. 2nd and 10. Now Chubb. Oh, and now some space to operate.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
112 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, and this defense has had its share of problems getting guys to the ground. And here's another example. They never should have allowed this play to gain as many yards as it did, but poor tackling early in the play led to big yardage after the fact.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They run. Chubb. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know they're just trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Mayfield to throw it. He completes it to Beckham. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Trapped at the 1. They'll give it to Chubb, and he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Now, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, it looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4, fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Parkey adds the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Jamal Williams making his way back onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Meanwhile, Goff's throw taken in by Hockenson here. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Out of the gun, Goff. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
3rd and 2, Goff. Man open left side, it's Williams. And he is going to have a Lions first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To the air again, Goff. And this is going to be caught? No, they say it's incomplete.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Goff. His throw incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Goff now looking to throw. He sets to fire deep. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And with the day he's having, as we look at some of these highlights, maybe he wants to duplicate this pregame meal next week.
Whatever it is, guaranteed he will ask for the exact same thing each and every week as long as he continues to run like that. Sometimes it's that simple, partner.
Yeah. And you know how superstitious these guys can be.
Oh, there's no doubt, right? If you put your left sock on first and you have this kind of game, you'll keep doing it. In this case, let's investigate that pregame meal. We might need some of that.
Yeah, right. It's working.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Chubb. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Now here's Ross. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Lions will take over. Getting set to go again here on offense, Jared Goff trots back onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big connection on that one. 33 yards.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they had been seeking.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Goff. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Goff on 3rd down. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And in the second quarter, it's the Bears who are out in front. The Bears still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, let's get to Philadelphia as we check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they've gone to the half in that one with the visiting Saints out on top. Michael Thomas, a touchdown catch in that first half. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And that one's gone to the half with them leading the visiting Miami Dolphins. Le'Veon Bell, a touchdown run in that first half. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Lions, and they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half, and it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Browns, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. Returning it, John Ross. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 27, Goff, and this will be incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Let's go! Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down. Come on now.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They go back to the ground, this time Swift. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now a play fake, and it's Goff. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
A hole to dig out of here. 2nd and 17.
Another try after the first down sack. Goff.
And that's out to the flat for Swift.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the third quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
Here's Goff. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And in for the Lions, touchdown. T.J. Hockenson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so, because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed, way harder to cover than before.
Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. He's got it to bring it back to 28-7 now. A 10-play drive that time. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Now Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
So here are the Browns to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game, with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 26.
He'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
130 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the ground, it's Chubb. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. It's a good pickup on the ground of 7 yards, and time has run out on this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. 3 yards remain for 2nd down. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. A solid stiff arm. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Oh, that's sweet.
What an effort. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Wow, 185 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. Good gain there on 1st down, and keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Yeah, he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal now, mere inches from pay dirt. Hunt is in. Touchdown, Cleveland. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down to get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Now Parkey for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off as he did so with a touchdown run. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Here we go.
And Detroit getting set to go now. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Now a first down throw, gone. And that coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
On the draw, Goff will give this to Swift. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Back to throw, Goff. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. Goff now looks to throw. It's Williams on the catch. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. From the 38, Goff. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run the draw here with Swift. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. So now following the sack, often the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. When you think of guys that are built to be big-arm quarterbacks, Jared Goff, he fits that mold, and he showed it off right there.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's 3rd down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham, you have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
And that one spanning an even 65 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he gets it down to the 32.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
A give. This is Chubb. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on 1st down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if he picked up the 1st down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the 1st down because in college football, the clock stops with every 1st down and actually aids the defense in that situation.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And to be frank, Charles, probably not too many people surprised at how this one turned out.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. I mean, they're such a good football team. They were at home. You know, you walked in and you looked at the advantages and you saw that they had most of them. It'd take a lot to try and even it up. I just thought 2 words for this ball game: methodical and predictable. And both of them came together.
So for Cleveland, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Lions, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday at noon Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Detroit.